Lexi, what happened to you?
Nothing. You look awful. What happened? Just felt like a change, that's all.
Yeah, but did you have to
Look,
change?
it's no big deal. I just got tired of the Boy George bit, okay?
So who are you supposed to be now?
Me! Got any objections?
Inspector Grace.
I'd like a few words with you, Mr. Cruikshank.
Why? What's happened?
Well, it'd be better if we do this in private.
No, it's all right. They all know about it.
All right, if you prefer. I must ask you to accompany me down to the station, Mr. Cruikshank. There you'll be charged with murder. Do you wish to say anything in answer to the charge? You're not obliged to do so unless you wish. But anything you do say may be taken down in writing and given in evidence against you.
Got lunch worried?
So she should be. I'm not letting her off for poisoning Jan. Hair looks good, Lexi.
Oh, yeah. Hey, where's your tucker?
Not having any.
Why not?
Set of scales Mum promised me just arrived. I wish I'd bloody never seen.
The moment of truth, eh?
Hey, come on, how much do you weigh?
I'll see if I'm going to tell you. I'm on a serious diet, starting from now.
Yeah, okay, diet if you want to, but you've got to eat something.
Not all I've lost some weight.
What are you trying to do? Turn yourself into a model or something?
No, I don't want to be a model. Just sick of being plump and jolly.
Well, you better be careful, you know. You lose weight too quickly, it can muck up your system.
Yeah, a lot of people get sick on crash diets.
Yeah, well, I've got to lose some weight quick.
What's the panic? Someone been stirring you?
Yeah, you mustn't pay any attention to what people say. Hey, did you ever see those weighing machines that used to say your weight to you?
Yeah.
Remember that?
You are 11 stone, 10 pounds.
That's it. I once got on one off Flinders Street Station. You know what it said to me?
What?
Give us a break, chubby. Nothing.
I don't know what the women will say when they find out. Imagine Mr. Cruikshank being arrested, and for sex killings too.
Well, we'll just have to keep it away from the women. Police will soon realise their mistake.
I wouldn't be so confident if I were you. But then none of this really surprises me.
How can you say such a thing?
I always thought he was too good to be true.
Oh, you love kicking people when they're down, don't you?
Yeah, well, Cruikshank would know all about that, wouldn't he?
I suppose I should have expected that from her.
I still can't believe that Dennis could do anything like that. It's just impossible.
Of course it's impossible.
Still, Inspector Grace would never have taken him in unless he had some evidence. Now, would he?
Here. Have a seat. Look, I'm sure we can sort this out. That's it.
Be careful, son. It's a prison officer. Can't push him around. And you know your rights, don't you, Mr. Cruikshank? Hey.
I don't care about that. I'm telling you, you got the wrong man.
You got the wrong man. It's funny how they all say that, Steve, isn't it? You gotta watch him. He's got no sense of humour. Me, I'm different. Now, if you play ball with me, we can have all this over in a few minutes.
Right, fine, you just tell me what you want.
Just come clean up front. Why? Where? I mean, just save us a lot of time.
Come clean about what? I haven't done anything.
On top of everything else, you're a bloody liar as well.
I'm not lying.
Yeah? You don't like it when you're being toughed out, do you? Eh? You bloody perverts are all the same. It's easy being tough on little girls, though, isn't it?
No, it isn't. I've never hurt any girl or woman for that matter.
You know it must have been a temptation for you. Temptation. You're driving along, there's a young girl hitchhiking, probably wearing bugger all like they do these days.
Look, I've admitted to giving one girl a lift, and that's all. In fact, I gave her a good talking to about how dangerous it was to hitchhike.
I bet you did. And when you stopped the car and took a look at her, you thought, I fancy this.
No, she was just a kid.
You like kids. You've already told me you like kids. And it must have been easy for you, eh? Young kid on her own hitchhiking. Take her off somewhere quiet.
I let her out on Culver Drive.
Take her somewhere quiet where you know nobody's going to turn up, and then suddenly you've got something round her neck, pulling it tight. and then tighter. And then when the poor little kid can't fight back, that's when you start to enjoy it. What do you do in the car with naked little girls,
You think I'm a pervert? Just listen to yourself. You're just wasting your time. I don't know anything about these murders.
Tights. We found them in the back of your car, behind the back seat.
Well, I don't know how they got there. I've never seen them before.
And pigs might fly, Mr. Crookshank.
Look, I'm telling you, I'm innocent.
I've heard that from every bloody crim for 20 years that have walked through those doors.
There's nothing else to tell you. I mean, what do you want from me?
I want a full confession, that's what I want. A full confession. I'll take him downstairs. Prints, photographs.
Well, what was the department's reaction?
Predictable. They care more about their image than they do about Dennis.
Well, I'm going straight to the police station to see him.
While you're there, do you think you could see if you can get some civilian clothing for him? They're terrified he's going to appear in court in uniform.
Yes, of course. They don't care a damn about Dennis as a person, do they?
Well, I do, Meg. I care very much. Would you tell him so?
Yes, of course.
And let me know when there's any news about him.
Yes, well, I'll call you from home. Oh, and that reminds me. Joyce has been telling me some story that Ettie's been saying that she's coming back to Wentworth.
I don't know where she got that idea. I told her it was out of the question. There's no way she can stay in prison just because she likes it.
Yes, well, I'll go home and sort that out, and then I'll go to the police station.
Keep your hands still, mate. It'll smudge. There you go. That'll get it off, mate.
You get those new car seat covers?
Yeah, got the sheepskin there on special. Back up the wall over there, mate. Turn side on.
You'll be sorry.
Why?
With your kids. Just pray they don't get sick.
Look straight at the lens.
Come on, Jenkins, move it. This isn't over by the time my shift's finished. Some of you will miss out.
You should write a book on that diet. You'd make a fortune.
None of it's for me anyway.
Oh, yeah?
I'm giving it all to Lexi. Oh, gee, thanks, Ma. You're a real mate. Yeah. Sure you don't want some of it back? I want all of it. But I'm not going to have it. Hope you put on 3 stone. Oh, no way. I can pick myself rotten and don't put on an ounce.
Oh, there's no justice, is there, love? I have to look at a piece of chocolate and I gain a pound. Not so fast, Jenkins.
What's up?
You can put that on the table and forget it.
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
What if I don't wanna?
Your choice.
Okay. But how long's it going on?
Till you learn how to behave yourself. Okay, ladies. You can split up Alice's buy up amongst you, but be fair about it. And if I catch anyone giving Alice anything, they'll answer to me.
Isn't there some other way?
Oh, yeah. There's another way. But I think Alice prefers this one.
I thought you might like to have a look at these. Might explain our position better than I can.
Oh, look, you did it pretty good.
Thanks, but the pamphlets will help. It's a collective of ideas and reasons, not just my point of view. There's some amazing facts in them.
Might take my mind off a bloody diet. Nothing could do that. Hey, I've been thinking about what you said, Anita. I reckon it'd be great if there weren't any more wars.
But?
If next door neighbours can't even get on, then what chance a country's got?
Well, that's why we're trying to get ordinary people to believe in the peace movement. If we can convince them, they're the ones that'll bring force to bear on the politicians.
God, it'd be an amazing change if we had some say in making the laws, wouldn't it?
My solicitor said he'd see me straight away.
We'll let you see him as soon as he gets here, mate. I'll be back in a minute with your tea. Do you want a pie or a pasty?
No bother.
I'll bring it anyway. Regulations.
Oh, I thought you'd be back by now, so I had the kettle on.
Thanks, Etty, that's lovely, but I'm afraid I'll just have to gulp it and run.
You haven't got to go back to work, have you?
No, it's just something I've got to do.
Will you be home for tea?
Now, don't you worry about me, Etty. I'm not sure yet.
Is there something wrong?
Yes, there is. There's a couple of things, Etty. And one of them's you.
What have I done?
What have you been telling Mrs. Barry about you going back into Wentworth?
Oh, that I fixed that with Mrs. Reynolds. I'm going back where all my mates are.
You are not going back, Etty. It just isn't possible.
Oh, bloody rules and regulations. Wentworth's my home, where my mates are. Now they don't want me. You don't want me neither.
We do want you, Etty. We all care a lot about you and we want what's best for you. But you can't spend the rest of your life in prison.
If I went out and knocked something off, they'd have to take me back then, wouldn't they?
Don't start talking like that. Anyway, with all the time you've served for nothing, you'd almost certainly get probation.
I could give the department their money back, couldn't I?
That wouldn't work either. That money is to give you a new start in life.
Well, suppose I don't want a new start in life.
You've got to give yourself a chance, Etty. And don't forget, you've promised a large slice of that money to help Janice get back on her feet.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
And you've given a lot of it away already.
Well, you can't knock back people when they're in strife.
Then why knock yourself back? Why don't you give yourself the same chance that you're offering Janice?
And that's it. I know nothing about these murders. Nothing at all.
You've admitted giving one girl a lift.
No.
And you can't explain the tights found in your car.
Well, no, it must have been there before I brought it. I mean, I never checked the car over.
Sir, you're basing your whole defence on duty losses, which really only go to prove that you could have found time to commit the murders.
Well, could you account for every minute of your time?
That's immaterial, Mr. Crookshank. You're the one facing the charges.
Trying to rig the scales, eh? No, I was just trying to make it a bit more accurate. Oh, putting a bit of weight. Must be all the mushy tucker, eh? I should have your problem. I might, join you on that diet. I mean, I want to be able to fit into my bridesmaid dress for the wedding. You should worry, you scrawny slag. While you're at it, get some fertiliser on your skin. I don't want my bridesmaid looking like a guy.
How you going?
We were all right. What do you want?
That's a nice way to talk to your partner.
Come off it, Alice. What are you after?
I reckon you could share your buy-up with me.
What the hell for?
Huh? Well, we're partners, aren't we?
Look, lay off. There's no way I want Myra laying into me.
I'm sorry, but he's not permitted any visitors until after he's been remanded.
It's ridiculous. What if he needs someone to look after things for him?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Morris, but I don't make up the rules.
Oh, Mrs. Morris. Did you hear about Crookshank?
I have come to see Mr. Crookshank, and I'm told I'm not allowed.
Well, he's just doing his job like the rest of us.
Is it against regulations for you to tell me what's happening?
Look, I'll help you any way I can, Mrs. Morris. You just can't talk to him. He's with his solicitor, he's been charged, and he'll appear in court tomorrow for remand.
Thanks. Just one more thing. I was wondering whether you could get a key to his flat so that I could go and get in some civilian clothing.
I wondered how long the department would take to get onto that. You won't need a key. We've got some men out there searching the place now. I'll ring them and tell them you're on the way.
What are you looking for?
Anything. Anything, Mrs. Morris, that'll back up the evidence we've already got.
You believe he's guilty, don't you?
Oh, Mr. Doyle. Good minute. This is Mr. Mrs. Meg Morris. She works with Cruikshank. Excuse me.
Mrs. Morris, glad to meet you. I'm Rex Doyle. I'm representing Cruikshank.
How is he?
Bearing up, but I say he's seen better days, of course.
Will he have to stay in custody overnight?
I'm afraid there's no choice. Maybe he can come up with a better alibi. I don't know.
Will they allow him bail when he's remanded?
Well, as you know, magistrates rarely grant bail in murder cases. We'll have to refer it to the Supreme Court.
What are his chances?
Pretty slim. Of course, we'll argue that he'd be in danger if he went to prison because of his occupation.
That should be obvious.
Yes, but even if bail's granted, well, he owns no property and has very little money in the bank.
But he can't go to prison. He wouldn't last a day if they found out he was an officer.
But his only chance is for someone to stand surety for him.
I can do it.
Bloody scales. What'd you say? Never fails. Good diet. I've lost 1 kilo since last night. Oh, good on you, Ma. You'll be skinny as a rake in no time.
Wait, somebody call my name? I thought I heard the word skinny.
I was talking about Ma. She's lost a whole kilo since yesterday.
It's a good one, Marlene.
Yeah, good on you, love. But you eat something today. We don't want you getting sick.
Yeah. My waist
get a
away
move
to a
on.
bloody elephant.
Got your shampoo, Patterson?
Good morning, Miss Ferguson.
Morning.
How are you?
Oh, all right.
You look tired. Still not sleeping well?
Oh, it's just every time I close my eyes I see my father.
Well, I won't say you'll get over it, but you will learn to live with it.
Have to, won't I? Yeah, it's a pity I don't have some of his faith. He was so brave when he knew he was dying. Then he had a very strong belief in God. I'm afraid it doesn't work for me.
Well, you don't need formal prayers to talk to God. Just say what you feel, like you were talking to any close friend.
Thank you. Is everything all right? Anything I can do for you?
Nothing I can think of.
Well, I could have Kelly moved.
Oh, no, please. I asked to share with Lou. Perhaps I can find a way to help her.
I doubt it. She's too far gone.
I can still try.
I'll never understand what makes people like you tick. Everyone I know is out for number one.
Perhaps I am too.
Morning, Etty.
Oh, g'day, Meg. Hey, aren't you having your breakfast?
No, I've had some tea and toast. I've got to go out shortly and do some things for Mr. Cruikshank.
Oh. Listen, I've been thinking about what you said about giving myself a new chance in life.
Good. I'd like to see you go out and enjoy yourself, meet some new friends.
These villagers, what are they like?
Oh, I've heard they're very good, Eddie. Look, can we talk about it later? I'm a bit pushed for time.
Well, are they in the country or what?
Well, some of them are, but most of them are around the suburbs.
Oh, well, when you got time, would you take me and show me what?
Etty, do you really mean it?
Can't hurt, can it?
Bloody hell. Starve yourself and you still can't win. But don't you think most people see you as a bunch of ratbags, though?
I suppose they do. But we're getting the peace message across to more and more people all the time.
And if you don't want to see a real war break out, you better come up with those winnings that you owe.
Oh, look, break it down, Myra can't pay. The freak took all my dough.
That's your problem.
Oh, resting, ladies.
Just a smoko, Mrs. B.
I'll make sure it's not too long. all
Right.
Sylvie, you've got some visitors.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Barry.
No, I haven't finished.
Look, I told you, it's a freak's fault.
And I told you when you started that book, you run it straight or else. When you owe money in here, you pay up. You better start to understand that.
Reverend Mother,
That will be all, thank you.
Oh, but
I've spoken to the governor, and she's approved my wish to speak to Sister Selby alone.
Very well. It was good of you to come, Mother.
I've come to tell you that I've written to our Holy Father in Rome. The papal emissary should have delivered it by now.
What about?
Your actions against the church.
But I haven't acted against the church. I'm only doing what I think is right.
You're in no position to judge, sister. Your duty is to the church, and it will tell you what is right. You are full of pride. Pride and ego.
I admit there's some truth in that. But I can overcome it with your help.
And that I would do if I thought there was any hope for you. Any good at all that you could offer the church. But on top of your sin of pride, you have committed an act of violence against a police officer, and even worse, had an affair with a young man.
That's not true. I've never broken my vow of chastity. The man in question is a workmate and a good friend.
Be that as it may, your conduct is unbecoming as a woman of the cloth.
But it's the truth. I haven't done anything wrong. You don't understand me. You don't understand the problems facing us now. I acted from faith, not rebellion to the church. Don't you see?
I see a young woman using the church for her own ego, and I won't stand for it. A nun's vocation is dedication to God, not politics.
But it's not politics when it concerns life. I am a nun and devoted to our Lord. My actions are guided by God.
That's blasphemy. You're using God's name in your own quest for power.
No!
I'm sorry, child, but the church cannot condone what you are doing. You are bringing us into conflict with things that do not concern us. Politicians will come and go, but the church will remain steadfast so long as we don't interfere.
You don't understand.
No. I'll never understand disrespect for God. Your actions prove it to me that you are bent on destroying the church, and so help me, I'll see that you don't succeed.
Please, Mother, try to understand.
When you ask forgiveness for your sins and accept the evil of your ways...
Oh, but they're not. Please, at least give me your blessing.
I have asked that you be expelled from the order immediately.
The police have charged a Wentworth prison officer with the murders. The man is believed to be in his mid-30s and recently returned from the UK.
Typical of the press, eh? Not allowed to publish a man's name and address until he's been to court, but they might just as well.
But they didn't have to say he worked here, surely.
It'll come out at his trial anyway.
Oh, poor Dennis, what he must be going through.
Nothing compared to what he did to his victims.
Oh, come on. He hasn't been proved guilty yet.
I'll take odds on it.
What if they do convict him? Imagine the life he'll have in prison. Oh, Mrs. Reynolds, is there any more news of Dennis?
Only that he's been remanded in custody. Oh, and Meg rang to say that she'll be attending his bail hearing in the Supreme Court.
They don't allow bail in murder cases.
Not often, I know, but there could be an exception in his case because of the danger to him in prison.
If they do, they'll set it high. He won't be able to afford it.
Yes, well, Meg's fixing that.
It's nice to know that not everybody has written Dennis off just yet.
Yes. Now, I want to make sure that none of this leaks to the women. See that all newspapers are censored, remove the TV sets and radios.
They'll soon guess something's going on.
True, but I'd rather they didn't know what. Also, there'll be no phone calls for any of them.
Hey, guess what? Did you know we're not allowed to have the telly on fire?
God, here we go again. The radio, the telly, the log. That'd be right.
What are we supposed to have done this time, eh?
Nothing, probably some news they don't want us to hear.
Yeah, and here's where it isn't.
Oh, that isn't fair. What if they drop the bomb or something? We've got a right to know.
We'll find out soon enough. It usually just means that someone of them is going to be joining us.
We'll try and hide it then.
Who knows?
What, you bastards.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. It happens all the time.
Besides, you've got more to worry about at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah, like missing a bloody cereals again tonight. Oh, great. Lunch. I have to miss out on that too.
And so, if Meg hadn't put her home on the line for me and bailed me out, I'd still be there. But my lawyer seems to think I've got nothing to worry about. I'd like him to be in my shoes, though. He might see things differently.
Yes, I know. I'm glad Mr. Doyle's feeling positive, though.
Hi. So, if I could just be assured my job's in no danger, it would make me feel a lot happier.
I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm afraid the department's ordered your immediate suspension. I'm sure everything will be all right when you're cleared, but until then, I'm afraid there's nothing much I can do to help.
Oh, I guess I expected it. Guilty until proven innocent, eh?
No, of course not. I don't believe you're guilty, neither does anyone else here. I'm sure they just want to avoid the publicity.
Oh, of course.
If there's anything I can do to help, you will let me know, won't you?
I'll do that. Thank you. Well, I'd best be letting you get on with it, then.
Have you found out what's wrong with Anita?
No, she said she wanted to sort it out herself.
Well, it sounds serious. I think her visitor gave her bad news.
Yeah, unless, of course, Kelly's been stirring again.
I reckon someone needs to cut their toenails. You reckon we can save this?
See what I can do, Marlene.
You all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks.
Marlene.
What?
Work.
Oh, yeah, bloody slut driver.
Come on, it's the best way to burn up calories.
What calories? I didn't even have any lunch. Lost another half a kilo, though.
Well, if you keep that up, you'll spend your wedding day in hospital.
Oh, get out.
No, they say it's dangerous if you lose more than 2 kilos a week.
I'll be right. It's only for a couple of weeks.
Stupid bitch, look at it. How did you manage that?
Look at me.
Bloody Patterson loaded this lot.
Well, what's the big deal anyway? We're used to sleeping on blue sheets.
It's not our lot, Dumbo. It's the old people's home.
Ah, well, we'll work it out.
Because I'm not taking the blame for something she did.
Oh, that's a joke.
Yeah. I wonder if Alice would laugh.
Look, you're not going to go off at Lexi, are ya? She's probably just having trouble concentrating because she can't pay her debts.
Yeah, well, she's going to lose her concentration for a long time if she doesn't come good. And that goes for anyone who doesn't pay up.
Patterson, what are you doing here?
Just came to collect the dirty tea towels, Mrs. B.
All right, off you go. All right, I'm coming. And I found the keys. All right. All right. Hello, staff room? No. What do you want? Yes? I have paid the phone bill. I tell you, I have. Well, if you're going to be so difficult, you can have your own dinner tonight at the pub. Goodbye. Chick. Well, Patterson, did you get everything?
Yes, thanks, Mrs. B.
All right, off you go. Meg, I just saw Dennis going into the staff room. He looked absolutely dreadful. You don't think...
Don't tell me they've let him out.
Of course they've let him out.
Oh, honestly.
Just listen to it. A man goes out and brutally murders young children, and you two think it's all right to let him loose to kill again.
Oh, thank God you're not on the jury. You've already tried and convicted him.
They wouldn't have charged him if they didn't have something to go on. He's got a damn nerve coming back into this place.
Well, I'm sure you'll be relieved to know, Miss Ferguson, I've been suspended.
Oh, at least somebody knows what they're doing.
I'm sorry.
It was on the cards, wasn't it? Guess I'm just not meant to come up trumps at the moment.
But they will let you come back as soon as all this is over, won't they?
You sure you'll be okay?
Yes, sir. No, I'll be fine.
Well, come on, what's happening? Tell.
It's a Yorkshire put. I'm right, aren't I, Mum?
What's happened?
A 31-year-old male prison officer has been charged with the murder of Sharon Atkin in the city.
God, that's that kid that got strangled and raped, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what makes them say it was Crookshank?
Oh, who else could it be?
Oh, my God.
Read it out.
It just says, he's being questioned about other sex-related crimes that have happened over the last few months. An employee of Wentworth Detention Centre for the last 12... Oh, my God.
Well, I'll be, eh?
On strike again, are we?
He couldn't have done it, could he, Miss Ferguson?
Shut up.
Thank you, Desmond. I can manage.
Has Mr. Crookshank been charged with that girl's murder or not?
Have been busy, haven't you? But you didn't put as much energy into your work.
Well, has he? Miss Ferguson.
Let's just say he's going to be too busy to work here for a long time.
Oh, Mrs. Reynolds, would you like me to make you one of these? You look as though you could do with it.
Thanks, Joyce, but no. I don't think it'll fix things.
No, I suppose not. I saw Dennis. He looked shattered. It wasn't your decision, though, was it?
No, but I suppose that was the only thing to do. You know how the women feel about children being harmed. I would have had to ask him to go just for his own safety.
But they'd never believe that. They like him.
Oh, Miss Ferguson, would you have the women assemble in the rec room after work? I've decided to tell them about Mr. Cruikshank.
Oh, that won't be necessary.
And why is that?
You really should review the security of this place, Governor. They already know.
That's impossible.
Nothing is impossible in this place.
Hey, here comes the bastard now.
Good. So what sort of story we'll get?
Shouldn't be allowed. Bloody perverts running loose like this.
Thanks. Just a statement, Mr. Cruikshank. Look, just sod off, will you? I've had a gutful of you lot today.
Okay, mate, but just thought you might like to read this. Some pretty heavy stuff in there. Just thought you might like to have your say.
You thought wrong.
We'll be around in case you change your mind.
You're wasting your time.
Hey, Cruikshank!
What's the matter with you? Of course he could have done it.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on,
it's the quiet ones you got to watch out
Yeah.
for.
Just shut up. You two are both so rotten you think everybody else is.
Ignore them, Rabbit.
Yeah, well, it's bad enough Mr. C being charged for something he didn't do without them trying to make him out to be Jack the Ripper.
Jeez, Ma, we don't believe he done it.
I know, but if they say it often enough, some people will start believing. Look, come on, Ma, they have got a point, you know.
Yeah, well, so is Marlene.
Look, just because he's Mr. Nice Guy to us doesn't mean he's not into little girls after work, does it? You bitch, just because he wouldn't play along with you when you took a fancy to him. I never did.
I think yourself lucky, Lexi. If he had fancied you, you might have found yourself strangled. Now, if you want excitement...
Oh,
I'm your
shut
man.
up, Burke. Look, Marlene, I'm not saying he did it, but then again he
He's
could have.
guilty. Straight ones are always sickos.
Pity the bastard's not on duty. Then we'd get it out of him.
Yeah.
You're both stupid!
Just stop that noise! Will you stop it? You got wise yourself. Right, now, what's going on?
Just a bit of a debate, Mrs. M.
That true, Mr. Cruikshank's changed uniforms, Mrs. Morris?
Yeah, who's into killing kids like
That's
you?
enough,
Shut your
Burke.
rotten
It's
mouth.
not true, is it, Mrs. M?
It's true he's being charged, but it's only a matter of time before they'll be dropped.
You screws stick together no matter
You
what,
just
don't
shut up, Kelly. Now, just be quiet or you'll all be on a charge.
Hey, does this mean we're getting the tellies and radios back?
Tomorrow.
Oh, must be going mad. That's the only explanation for it.
What's the matter, Joyce?
Well, I don't know what I've done with my purse this morning, and I was sure I put it in my bag.
Have you looked in the staff room?
Yes. Oh, I think I must have left it at home. You know, Norm was going on at me this morning for not paying the telephone bill, and I'm sure I did. I think I must be on the turn.
Oh, Joyce, come on. I'm sure you'll find it in the most logical place.
Go back to where you came from, you murdering plummy bastard!
That does it.
It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We never used to have this sort of thing around here. That's right. It's the migrants. They should be kept out of the country. It's always them that's doing the killing and raping. Look, there he comes.
Let's not leave him now.
Yes.
Come on, let's get him. We don't need the nice for you around here. Murderer!
Plumbing plungers, you take our job! Murder our kids!
Just let me through! Disgusting! You said it, old man. But just listen to you all. I'm not guilty of anything, but you're all ready to string me up, aren't you? Eh? But where's your rope? Come on! Oh, God, you're not worth it.
I'll fix the barn. And don't come back if you know it's good for you.
Take a slow boat to China. That's right. Take a slow boat to China.
Feel like a bit of company yet?
I'm sorry. I have been a bit antisocial, haven't I?
That's okay. We all need a bit of time to ourselves, especially in here. Want to talk about it?
Are you sure you want to hear my confession?
Well, I've got nothing else to do at the moment.
Reverend Mother called this afternoon. Gave me quite a dressing down, I'm afraid.
Not happy about you being in here, eh?
Oh, it's not the surroundings. It's the reason I'm here. But you can't equate it with God's work.
Why not? I know it's not the sort of work that you lot usually do, but you're trying to help millions with your anti-nuclear stuff.
Yes, that's the problem. Me trying to save the world. Reverend Mother sees it as a case of ego tripping, not in keeping with our way of life at all. She thinks I should leave.
The order?
And the church.
Oh, it's being a bit heavy, isn't it? But, well, surely it's not that bad. I mean, you can still carry on your work even though you're not a nun.
No, I know it's hard for you to understand, but my vocation means everything to me. My work was only for God, not myself.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Thanks, Myra. I wish Mother Mary was so easy to convince.
She sounds like a bit of a dragon.
No, not at all. In fact, she was right about a lot of things. I have broken my vows of obedience. I am proud and willful. And although I tried not to, I did enjoy the personal glory to some extent. But I can't bear to think of leaving the order. I can't. I don't know.
Hey, let it all out.
Girls reckon you've been paying back all your debts.
So?
So where'd you get the money?
It's none of your business.
I did apologise for having a go at you, you know.
Yeah, all right.
Not that it'd interest you. I'm going to be saying a prayer for Mr. C tonight.
What?
I said...
I heard what you said.
What's wrong with that?
That lot of good praying and stuff will do you.
I don't reckon. And look at Anita. She prays all the time and she's got, I don't know, God or something all round her. Like a glow. You can feel it even.
What's got into you tonight, Rabbit?
I don't know. Don't you ever think about religion and God and that?
Done all right without him so far.
Yeah, but you need something. Like, say you're in really big trouble. It helps just to be able to pray. Think someone up there's going to look out for you.
Not many people are sending up prayers these days, then. All the rotten things that keep happening.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? My grandpa always used to say, everything that happens, good or bad, there's got to be a reason for it. Maybe God's just trying to tell us something. Like, why should he have to do all the hard work? Got to do some of the sorting out for yourself.
Gee, you're getting deep tonight, Rabbit.
Yeah, well... Anita's made me stop and think. Instead of running around like a headless chook the whole time.
She's all right for a nun, I reckon. I used to think all they ever did were light candles and get calluses on their knees.
She's real nice. I could almost become Catholic, I reckon.
What the hell for?
I don't know. They just seem to have a lot going for them.
Yeah, all that money and free booze. Mind you, I wouldn't mind some of them robes that the Pope wears.
You're not supposed to say things like that. What if Anita heard you?
No, she wouldn't mind. She's okay. Hey, put a few words in for me when you tune in tonight.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Same again, Pete. How's it going then?
Oh, not bad. Still on strike. Be all right if the missus wasn't on me back all the time. I'll have another word. Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? You're not with Stan's mob, are you? Oh, mate, you got the wrong lad.
Hey, you know who that bastard is, don't you? No. He's a bloody kid murderer. His face was splattered all over the rags.
Eh? Buggered if I'm gonna drink with scum like that.
You don't have to, mate. Come on. Finish that up and then pack your backside out of here, Pom.
What are you talking about?
You heard.
Stinking child molester. Hey, get over here. Help us get this heap of crud out of the place.
I've every right to drink here as much as anybody else.
The hell you have.
Need a little convincing, do you?
What you doing, Jeff?
Swatting. You go back to sleep.
No, wait. I don't reckon I'd have the push to do all that study stuff.
It's good for the brain. Exercise.
Yeah, suppose. Bet Crookshank's doing a bit of exercise at the moment. He must be going through hell, eh?
Yeah.
Hard to believe he'd done it.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't seem the type to me. But you never can tell. People can go right against character in some situations.
Where'd you get that candle?
I found it in the workshop.
Give it here.
Now, come on, look, it's hardly a deadly weapon.
It's against the rules, McRae, and you know it.
I've got no other light to study by.
Stick. You're wasting your time anyway. Who's going to trust an ex-crim to defend them?
Yes, well, I wasn't thinking of defence, Miss Ferguson. There are other areas a law degree qualifies you for.
Maybe so. Still doesn't alter the fact that you're going to end up back inside again.
I reckon she's getting friendlier, Jeff.
Shut up, Delaney.
Night, Jeff.
My bloody biscuits! You thieving bitch, what do you think you're doing? Look, I'm sorry, I was going to pay you back, honestly. Please don't tell the others, please. What about the thieving or you blowing your stupid dart? I knew you couldn't do it. Look, I couldn't help it, I was starving. You got to help me. You got to hide him from me.
Oh, you can bet on that.
I'm sorry, honestly.
Hey, where's your chocolate? Come on. Just how much weight have you lost?
Hon?
Meg! Meg! It's me, Dennis.
Dennis?
I'm sorry, I don't know where else to go. They all think it's me, Meg.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing our